All right, you guys tell me if this is a dumb idea or not, but a fantasy of mine has always been to become YouTube rich so we could give back, so we could have a Farmers in Need program and then a couple scholarships a year for startup farmers. They don't have to be young, but just startup farmers. And so I've always fantasized about being YouTube rich enough that we could give away like the economy chute, and next quarter maybe things really went awesome, we give away an all-in-one or a small rake or a tedder or a 1-year tractor lease. But until we're YouTube rich, I would like to see if you guys, what your guys' thoughts are of a fundraiser program where, you know, once a year subscribers submit $20, $50, $100 or once a month people are donating $5, $10 or $20 a month, and that goes into an account. And then at the same time, then you guys would be submitting nominations for a farmer in need or a young farmer or a startup farmer kind of deal, because startup farmer don't have to be young anymore. But the farmer in need, you're like, oh yeah, you know, Bob down the road, they got in a car accident, or the barn burnt down, or the tractor burnt down, or you know, something kind of bad, or they got, you know, cancer or heart disease or something, you know, and they're in the hospital. If you know, let's say Bob down the road is doing fine on his cancer, but 4 days a month he's down and out because of his treatment. Well, one, we would reach out to see if we could find some other YouTubers or just some neighbors of that guy, and like, hey, who can help out with chores them 4 days, or we donate some money and hire, you know, here's a couple grand to pay for some hired hand for the next 6 months of them 4 days a month kind of deal, something like that, you know. So whatever happens, you know, and so I'm sure that once you started something like that, I bet the request would really outweigh the kitty to draw out of. And so then maybe once a month you'd have a list of finals of people and bring it to you guys, and you guys would vote like, yep, his story really connects or whatever, you know, and go from there. And then on the young farmer program, I think it'd be kind of fun, or the I keep saying young, but on a new farmer program, I think it'd be really fun to have 1 or 2 scholarships a year that they'd have to really write a heck of an essay. You know, it ain't just gonna be like, I'd like to start farming, oh, here's 10 grand. Like, no. I carried concrete and shoveled way too much dirt for a lot of years. That the heck, if I'm just gonna let you, no, you're gonna shovel, you're gonna work, but if you can help a young guy or a new guy out, you know, you got to do it. But a couple scholarships a year, and maybe help some people out in the ag world, and help people move into the ag sector and go from there. I don't know. It's just a pipe dream. It'll probably never happen, but you guys let me know what your thoughts are, and we'll go from there. And so, guys, that's all. All right, so while that thermometer sits in the soil for a few minutes and stabilizes, it's a pretty quick reading thermometer. So everybody that wants to, the it don't work here crowd says, well, what about your temperatures? Show us your temperatures. Because let's overlook the fact of the amount of reduced cost of equipment, time, labor, fuel, interest, repairs, hours on tractors, cost of purchasing horsepower and tillage, the herbicide, the reduced insecticide, fungicide, reduced fertilizers, the efficiency of the nitrogen, how it worked out here, the fact, the timeliness to be back on the field. Let's forget all that. Let's forget. That's all bull crap. We got to have this black soil because of temperatures. So, all right, here, professors of science. You can see he is pretty much 38, almost 40 degrees. Almost 40 degrees. I moved it quick just to see what would happen, because I didn't know if the sunlight was getting to that or not. And so we'll wipe him off. It's a fairly nice thermometer, because you can see temperature wise it's almost 50 degrees out here. And so that exposed soil was 40, 39 and a half. Then we'll just walk over here somewhere. And where's a good thick? Well, it's all good thick grass. We put our finger on the line. Right there's our finger on the line. And we stab in there. And hopefully you don't get a shadow. And you can see, and we'll let him stabilize for a minute. We had beautiful porterhouse last night, I'll tell you. Come off the grill. Whew, that was nice. Homemade French fries and porterhouse. Oh boy, that was good eating. Good eating. So we're at what, 30? Do we call that 38? 38. Yeah, about 38. So I've done this several times, and they've been super close. Sometimes it's actually gone the other direction. But yeah, so a month before planting time, late in the afternoon, both fields are within a degree or two of each other. That's at the 1.5 inch, almost 2 inch mark. I got Big Sexy hooked to the planter for the very first time, and I got the planter out and the round baler out. Then we'll get the combine back in as far as we can, and then get the baler in, and if there's room for the planter after that, then so be it. But yeah, I gotta get the bird crap off from over winter, but let's see if we can at least unfold it and how all that works. All right, so my up and down is this joystick forward and back. So if I push it forward, it lowers, and if I click back, then it lifts and runs for so many seconds. I think I gotta shorten that timer up, but that's what we're here for. And somehow, whoops, my hose popped out. I didn't have the hose in all the way. Then we'll see if she'll unfold. Yep, that's the right way. Bonk. All right, so the vacuum is on number 4. We only need him, or the air pressure for the seed meters. Let's literally try him down at like 10%. That one you got to be careful, because if you run too much oil flow, you'll blow your cooler hoses. Shut this door. So we'll try that at 10%. So 10%, you can see the air meter just came up. Maybe you guys can't. So we go back into 4. And we bring that positive. Boy, he really kicked up good right there. So that 14 really, the 14 put the air meter at about normally where I run it. So that's a good spot for there, and it's full on all the time until you hit off. So we're planting along. Let's lift 3, lift 1. Boy, that ain't a bad deal. That ain't a bad deal. And number 1 would, or the cylinders, they stop in that position anyhow, so it's a lot faster cycle time at the headland. And so, yeah, that works really well.